Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Mike.
You ever just think about the multiverse?
Did he just say think?
And just think that there's us out there doing these reviews with just a slight variation.
Yeah, I've never actually thought about it like that. It's really hard to go into that detail of just how many other worlds, possibilities of us there could be.
Yeah. What do you think one is?
It's got to be a nuclear engineer to the highest degree of brain power. You know how I've got the least scale of brain.
It's true.
He's got to be, looking at the stars and thinking, dear God, what a wonderful sight. What about you?
Probably Selvin.
Oh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Kentucky Fried Cinema. Woo-hoo! I'm Glenn McButton, as you may know, and this is my host, Miguel Magusto. We just saw nothing.
We do a little bit of fishing, film, serving our family.
We just got out of nothing, nowhere, not at all. Darn tootin', directed by the Daniellas.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, they did Philippine Navy Man.
Yeah, they did.
They did, and that was a darn tootin' film,
It was
y'all.
the most dramatic drama of all time.
Most dramatic. It was the saddest film since Schindler's Note. Wow. You could make something out of
I'll
that.
do something.
There's a great evil spreading throughout the multiverses. And you may be our only chance of stopping it. Wow, that was really good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Kentucky Fried Cinema. Sorry.
Kentucky Fried Cinema.
Kentucky Fried Keystone Film Review. We just saw everything, everywhere, all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Daniels did this film. They last did Swiss Army Man.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is starring Michelle. We do it all the time.
Yeah,
In
we
an
do.
alternate universe, we always have our phone.
Can you imagine? The rednecks do that.
Yeah.
How?
I'll tell you what. It's starring Michelle Yeoh, Kei Hwai Kwan. I know I butchered that, but he is Short Round from Temple of Doom and Data from The Goonies. Stephanie Su, I believe that's how you pronounce it. James Hong, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jenny Slate's in there for a hot minute.
Yep.
Biff Whiff.
Biff Whiff.
For all my I Think You Should Leave Season 2 fans, he's Santa Claus. And a whole bunch of others.
Yep.
This is a multiverse movie that is challenging Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strangelove Multiverse of Madness for the best multiverse movie ever made.
Yep.
And I tell you what,
Does it stack up?
does it stack up?
Seriously, did he say thinking?
So I avoided other reviews for this like the plague. This is probably was the movie I was most hyped for coming into 2022. I was bummed when in 2020 when I found out they had to shut down production because of the pandemic, because I didn't know when this movie would come out, and it's finally here. That's how long ago.
That is a very
That's how long ago I was excited for it. But it exceeded my expectations, honestly.
Far and beyond.
Yeah, and they were already pretty high. The best thing I can say about this is I thought crying tears of joy were bullshit until I watched this movie. Son, I'm sorry I didn't cry tears of joy when you were born. Caitlin, my wife, I did not cry tear of joy when we got married. But watching this movie, I did. And I am so sorry to my entire family that it took a movie for me to cry tears of joy.
Did anybody expect anything less, though?
No, honestly, they're probably like, yeah, sounds about right. But legitimately, I cried tears of joy and sadness. It's just a beautiful movie.
It's quite a roller coaster.
For people who are familiar with the Daniels work, Swiss Army Man is the first feature, but they also did that short Red Ball, which it's just taking absurdity and making like, even if it's a bullshit life lesson, or a life lesson out of it. This is not a bullshit life lesson. But they take really silly things and make them beautiful in a way.
Their imagination is uncanny.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, and it's wild. The amount of drugs that they're probably not on but are at the same time.
It might be. It was probably just weed.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah. I saw a meme when the premiere of this movie happened, and it was just like someone throwing blindly at a dartboard, and it said how the Daniels come up with a plot, and then someone at a keyboard with like numbers flying around. It's like how they try to break your heart while while doing that plot. And it's just a beautiful movie. It's got fantastic performances from everyone around. There's not a weak performance. Kei Hua Kwan,
He really wants me to think right now.
the guy from Goonies and Temple of Doom. I don't want to keep pronouncing his name.
So yeah.
So just put a video of how you pronounce his name in here.
Ga Hui Guang.
What was his name in the movie?
Wayne, I
Just-
think.
Could just say the movie name.
Yeah, but he's an actor. Waymond. Which is funny because Waymond is the guy, the actual name of the actor from Red Ball.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people talked about this. Big news going into this is he's coming back to acting. He kind of left. He went behind the camera for 30, 40 years, something like that. Because, Asian stereotypes were horrible in the 80s and 90s and even into the 2000s and sometimes even now.
They were bad.
And he saw Crazy Rich Asians, and thank God for that movie because he is wonderful in this film.
It did open a lot of doors, and here we are with how many doors this movie has for us.
It takes all the doors and all the wheels in this universe and then multiplies it by infinity.
There's just so many things to unravel from this.
Yeah.
I thought as far as performances stood out, everybody was great, fantastic, the best they could have ever been. But Joy, kind of stole the show.
Yeah, Jeffany Sue is the actress's name.
Oh my God, I don't know, all these big name people around her, and she somehow managed to the spotlight was just on her, and she was killing it the whole time. But speaking of unraveling, this movie's absolutely fucking wild as far as there's so many different layers. Shrek reference, boom, you're welcome.
There's a Shrek reference.
I just made it. Unraveling like an onion.
I see. I thought you were talking about in the movie.
No, it's just there's so many lessons that you could just literally just peel apart, and obviously I'm sure people don't mean to do this, but you could, no matter what viewpoint you have on when you're watching this movie, there's something you can take away from whatever different point of view you're watching it from. Mom, daughter, anything. I wish I could name more examples, but my brain is an onion and it's crying right now.
Yeah.
But it's such a great film and just hilarious. One of the first films, as far as not Marvel or some bullshit comic book movie goes, is where the audience clapped. Almost the whole theater was clapping.
Yeah, this theater had great reactions to it.
Yeah. Laughing hysterically, everybody, not just us.
The person next to me didn't laugh once.
Well, he's a piece of shit. That's
He
clear.
is. No, he might have laughed quietly, but he
But
wasn't laughing like me.
Everybody was laughing. It really got the crowd, or at least that crowd specifically, into the movie, and just everybody was laughing. Just everybody was having a good time and clapping at the end and just really enjoying it. And that's wild for just a movie that's not Marvel to do. Good job, A24.
Yeah.
Good job, Daniel.
Speaking of A24, we saw this in IMAX. It's the first A24 IMAX film, which is incredible in itself. It's amazing to see. I mean, obviously, Swiss Army Man's a great film for me personally, but you could tell while watching it that it's very low budget.
Yeah.
It is amazing what the Daniels can do when they're given money.
Yeah.
Because they created some of the most beautiful just imagery all around, just from costuming to shots to special effects. It's just,
and with their imaginations, you gotta give everything to them just to make these things happen, because everything looked spectacular.
It did.
Every scenario that they built out in these multiverse areas or whatever,
they were thought out.
Yeah, they were well thought out.
Like hot dog fingers.
It's fucking crazy that how many stories these guys told within a 2-hour span of just these maybe five characters. How many stories they told, and you were just like, my heart, they're tugging on the strings everywhere. It's
and the hair.
Raccoon. It's amazing how just 5-head brain these guys are.
Yeah.
Just making something. So, and I hope they keep continuing just.
Oh, with how successful critic-wise this has been, I think they'll continue to make them. Like, Swiss Army Man was very divided. Like, a lot of people walked out of the Sundance premiere of Swiss Army Man. I think those people are fucking stupid, because why wouldn't you want to see something different? And Swiss Army Man is very different. This is the same thing. It's a very different movie. Like, yes, obviously it has some, like, movie things. It's not, but it's...
They break the mold.
They break the mold. It's not your typical multiverse movie where everyone comes into one universe. It's everyone jumping between universes. You know, it's not like Nowhere Home where they just bring everyone into one universe and
Where
and
am I
then,
home? Nowhere.
yeah, and then just completely forget that it's a multiverse. They're just like, oh, this would get people to buy tickets. This was actually thought out. They're actually selling a book based on the multiverse theory that they used to write this. Obviously, they took some liberties with it, but there's a book about like the multiverse theory that A24 is selling, and it just goes to show you like how much thought they put into it. It was everything was just tied together so neatly in a bow at the end that the chaos started making sense.
Yeah,
and it's just incredible. I mean, obviously, there's probably going to be a few flaws, especially, you know, the 100th time I'm going to watch this, because I will watch it 100 times.
This is definitely going to be a movie you're going to be rewatching like crazy.
Yeah. But it is just phenomenal. I laughed. I cried tears of joy, something that not even my little cute baby child could make me do. I'm a horrible dad, is what I'm trying to say.
The good news is you got time, buddy. Don't worry.
No, I just... real note, becoming a dad is very surreal. This is a surreal movie, but while I'm in a normal setting. So I can actually feel it instead of just being like, is this real? That's my my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
It's perfect. Okay.
Yeah. I loved it. I don't have any qualms with it. It didn't feel like 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's just a wonderful film and beautiful in every way. It's just everything about life that is great.
Yeah. Just gotta recommend it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
No ifs, ands, or buts, or hot dog fingers.
Or hot dog fingies. Dear Lord, what a great movie that was.
Yeah. I don't really have anything to say. I don't want to give spoilers away.
It's hard to go further, because then you're just diving into things.
Yeah.
There's going to be analysis videos somewhere. Of
anyone who does an analysis movie of this, fuck you. This is a movie that needs to be experienced by everyone for them to come to their own conclusions about. So don't do an analysis video, although I'm sure that's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. But ratings?
5.
Same here. First 5 of 2022. Hopefully nothing beats it out. I mean, it's too soon to say, but while watching this, I was like, is a Ghost Story being knocked down for my favorite movie?
Completely different vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this movie was if not damn near flawless.
I contain multitudes and multiverses.
Yeah, he did.
So I can like Ghost Story and this at the same time.
that damn Kentucky Fried Cinema, he probably gave it a 0. How dare that bastard?
Well, they saw Nothing, Nowhere, Not at All.
Yeah, that's true. They did. They saw a different movie.
A whole different movie. But yeah, fantastic film. 5 out of 5. Cannot recommend it enough. 5 googly eyes.
5 googly eyes out of 5.
Beautiful film.
Go watch it, damn it.
Go watch it.
What the hell are you
I believe it's going wide April 8th. I believe
so.
And Uncle Nuff, yes, that is your name. I'm taking you to go see this. I know you hate Swiss Army Man. I'm going to take you to see this, though.
I don't know how it was as far as this IMAX thing went. If like they're going to keep doing that when it actually releases, but
if you can, see it in IMAX.
Definitely see it in IMAX, because that was really cool to just see that period, experience all that loudness in my body and in my mind.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Ahoy!
We do a little bit of fishing, films of an hospitality.